Hey everybody, Thomas Joseph here. Now, making a classic stuffing is a tried and true tradition for many of us during the holiday season. But are you secretly afraid of having your stuffing go wrong? Maybe it's too soggy, or worse, it's dried out. Well, today I'm going to share with you the perfect recipe, a formula really, for stuffing at home. So let's get started. The base for any really great stuffing is some aromatics, and aromatics can be a combination of different things, but onion and celery are kind of the classic flavors when it comes to stuffing. So in a large skillet here, I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which I'm just gonna melt down, and I'm gonna finish chopping up the celery. So I have 4 sticks, or stalks, I should say, of celery that I'm chopping into, decent sized pieces. You want to have a little bit of texture to your stuffing. You don't want everything to be so finely chopped that all of the ingredients are kind of indistinguishable. So these are about maybe 1/2-inch pieces of celery. I have 1 large onion that I've chopped up as well, same size pieces. And I'm gonna saute the celery and onions until they're nice and soft. So these are going right into my saute pan here, and I'm gonna saute them up, and this shouldn't take that long, maybe like 5 to 6 minutes. Now, while those are softening in the saute pan here, I'm going to add some of my ingredients to the bread. Now, this is 2 pounds of white bread here that's been torn into pieces and has dried out a little bit. Now, you can do this in one of 2 ways. You can let this dry out on your kitchen counter a day or 2 in advance of when you're planning on making your stuffing, or you could toast it lightly in the oven until it's nice and dry and brittle. And really the reason why we're drying the bread out is so that it can absorb a lot of the really great flavors that we're gonna add to this stuffing. So to this, I'm gonna add some really great flavors. And again, another kind of iconic flavor when it comes to Thanksgiving in the United States is sage. It's a woodsy herb, and oftentimes you'll see dried sage in a lot of recipes, whether it's for your turkey or it's for stuffing. Now, one of the things that I would recommend that you do is to actually buy sage fresh in the supermarket and then dry it out yourself. It really has a fantastic flavor that is so much better than the dried sage you get at the supermarket. So I'm just gonna crumble it myself. You need 2 teaspoons in total of dried sage. And of course, you can always use fresh sage as well. Now, in addition to the sage that I added, I'm gonna add some celery seed, which is also kind of a flavor that makes sense in the holiday season. Celery seed is one of those things that you might not have on hand, but you might want to pick it up from the grocery store. That's really great, not only in stuffing like this, but it's good with poultry, it's good with pork. It's also really fantastic when you use a little bit of it in your Bloody Mary. It's really, really delicious. So that's 1 teaspoon of celery seed. It's gonna really help to intensify the celery flavor from the stalks that we're sauteing over here. I have about a handful of flat leaf parsley that I've coarsely chopped, and this is gonna add some lightness and freshness to the stuffing. Now, you could add parsley, you could add thyme, really any herbs that you love and that you have access to, you could add to your stuffing here. In addition, I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. So coarse salt, we always use coarse kosher salt here in the test kitchen. And you wanna be pretty aggressive with the amount of salt that you use, and pepper, because you're really flavoring all of the bread that you have here, which needs the help. So be liberal, I would say, with your seasoning. And if you had a favorite spice that you wanted to add to this, of course you could do that as well. Now, some people would like to add other mix-ins, I'll call them, and this is a great base recipe that you can adapt to your taste. So if you like dried fruits, if you like fresh fruits like apples, or even pear, that would be great here. If you wanted to add meat, you could certainly crumble up some sausage and saute it in your skillet after the onion and celery and add that into this mix as well. Mushrooms are really fantastic. This recipe can be adapted in so many different ways. Again, it's just a base recipe for you to kind of go off on. So I'm just mixing this up with my hands. The onions and celery, they're starting to get slightly translucent here. I'm gonna season with a little bit of salt and pepper. Again, it's important to season all of the layers, all of the components that you're gonna add into this stuffing, and that's really how you're gonna get something that's flavorful and delicious and that everybody's gonna enjoy. So the onions and celery need just about a minute more here. And while that's going, I'm gonna mix together the wet ingredients that are gonna make a really moist stuffing, and that is 3.5 cups of chicken stock. Now you could also use turkey stock, or if you wanted to make this completely vegetarian, you could use a really great quality vegetable stock. And to this, I'm gonna add 3 eggs that I've broken up a little bit with a whisk. Now the eggs are gonna help to add a little bit of structure to the stuffing that I'm making here. And the reason I'm mixing the wet ingredients together is because it's gonna help to evenly disperse all of the ingredients amongst each other. All right, so our celery and onions are nicely cooked here. I'm gonna add this right into the bowl with the bread. Now, again, another way to add really great flavor, if you wanted to, you could deglaze the pan that you have these aromatics in with a little bit of white wine or vermouth. That would be really fantastic. You could add a little bit of cream to this mixture. That would be a really great addition, and you'd have something that's kind of like a hybrid between a bread pudding and a stuffing. I'm gonna mix these 2 components together so that the onions and celery have a chance to kind of cool down a little bit before I add the stock and eggs. Now, another helpful tip here to know is that when you're mixing your stuffing, it's really great to use the biggest bowl you have. If you don't have a bowl this size, you could also use a roasting pan to mix your stuffing in. And what this does is it just helps you to combine the ingredients evenly, especially when you add in all of this liquid without breaking it up too much. So before I add the eggs and the stock, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a try. And the reason that I try it at this stage is before we add the eggs, I wanna see if I've seasoned this enough. I actually think that this needs a little bit more salt and pepper. Again, whenever you're cooking, it's really great to season as you go and to taste as you go, because that's really how you know whether or not the end result will be delicious. So, some more salt and pepper. And now for the wet ingredients. I'm gonna drizzle this all over. I'm gonna hold back a little bit on the liquid and mix this together to see where I'm at. So make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, center rack. And I'm gonna add the rest of this because the bread still seems a little dry. So this looks great here. Now I'm going to transfer this into a 9x13 baking dish. If you wanted to, you could certainly bake this in any sort of dish that you have, just as long as the capacity is the same. You could even take this same mixture and you could transfer it into muffin tins or little ramekins and come up with personal servings here. And an important thing to note here, guys, don't pack the stuffing into the dish. Don't push it down. You want the stuffing to be light and fluffy in the end. So if you push it down and compact it, it's gonna be pretty dense. So let it fall into the dish naturally. You can, of course, coax it into the corners and even it out, but there's no need to push it down. Now, 350 degrees, this will take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes, maybe even north of that, around 30 minutes, until it's nice and golden brown on the top, and the stuffing is set in the center. So into the oven. All right, the stuffing is out of the oven. Now you wanna make sure that you're eating stuffing while it's still hot. Don't let this cool down too much, and I can't wait to give this a little try. Smells really fantastic. That sage is so fragrant, and there's really great texture to this stuffing recipe. You can see all of the wonderful celery and onions, and of course, this is a recipe that you guys should take and embellish in any way that you see fit. Now, as always, if you have any kitchen conundrums, any holiday conundrums or baking conundrums, reach out to us using the hashtag Kitchen Conundrums, and enjoy your stuffing, guys. Really great, guys. And as always, guys, click like and subscribe.